Okay, now we're back again. We created a garment. We used the garment tool here for creating this clothes, this dress. And what's important here to know is that currently there's a problem with the mesh generation with the bounding boxes. I don't know why, but it's just at the moment it's best when you move the splines to the origin and work in the original world space, and also your character should be there. And but for this in this scenario now I will just move the mesh back to the character, and I keep the spline here, these two splines. So we'll just attach this and move this to the character again, and the character still is also not in the right position, but here I think. Okay, so now let's have a look if this is fine so far. I think we can work with that. It's okay. So really doesn't matter for now where the cloth is, but later it's better when it's a child of the character. So now let's just add our component here and use the garment setup, and we also want a mouse interaction and a collision with the mesh. And as you can see, this white white box is important here. Wireframe white box shows the bounding box, and when there's something fishy going on and somewhere else, then also the green box will not be correct, and the green box is the box for the voxel calculation. So this should be now fine, everything. And here you can see the size of one voxel. When I edit this, will be much smaller and much more voxels will be used, but in this case we don't need so many for now, because when you use more voxels, of course it will have an impact on the memory. Okay, so we need our body mesh here, and then we now turning this off, because sometimes it's better also to start without a predictive contact simulation, and sometimes the collision works better this way. Okay, so let's check this out. Okay, now we are now in this garment setup, where we can adjust the position of the cloth by here moving this. Can also move the cloth here in the editor, and I can also push the normals a bit, and then we also have to find the correct values for our condition here. Something lower is better. Yeah, wasn't so bad. And of course we can always also move this around. And sometimes it's also easier to, for now, just reduce the gravity, make it lighter. Or, yeah, it makes the cloth lighter, won't fall so fast down. And we can jumping here, going on. Maybe we need to can also scale everything a bit and see what changes are to be done. And yeah, I think it's not a bad starting point. And now we can export the mesh, and we can then we should save our position scaling. Paste this here, so, and then our exported mesh is this one, I think, yeah. And then we can already use this as a normal class, or we can just go into the garment setup again and keep adjusting it. But basically that's it for now, and we can now try also the triangle mesh. Oh, could also have tried that before, but the vertex collision was also fine for the setup. And yeah, this didn't work good because now the triangle mesh setup is not so set up right, so let's try. Sometimes the triangle also works better with the predictive contact system. Can also adjust this, and yeah, that's now the point where you just have to play with the values. I think also one thing I often forget that the voxel volume is often too small. Sometimes it's better when it's bigger, and this jittering comes here from the garment setup, of course. But as you can see, we currently need that. Let's just try and figure out when our collision works. Yes, it's not that easy with the triangle collision. Sometimes we just need to update the buffer size, that meaning that the GPU, the compute buffers we are using, they are too small. They won't get all the points. So automatically let the system update the size of the buffer. And when you're changing these scaling values, you often need to just adjust the buffer scale. So now let's just try. Let's see why this doesn't work so as expected. Looks more or less like nothing colliding here. There was more collisioning happening with the setup. Maybe we need to check the vertex painting. But for No, I think we can just try again. This should affect it, yeah. So it looks like there this is now working, yeah. So probably the predictive contact in this case wasn't a good choice. So now this works much better, yeah. And also the normal scaling I think was the problem. So just turn this off, yeah. And now this works. You can now copy the setting. I would recommend this, and paste the values here. And just have another run and see how it behaves. That looks good. Yeah. And now the next stage, I mean, we could also now start animation stuff, but yeah, I think this animation is will be too fast. I mean, you can just try slow, but yeah, that's the problem. Skipping one frame and now it's not fitting anymore. That's because we don't have any skinning running now. Of course we can now try see how it looks at the beginning. Maybe there's no jump, but when you get these, when you have these frame jumps, then it's more or less impossible for the class to find the right position. How should the class know where it should be in this frame, in the other frame the mesh is gone, or somewhere else, and so how should the class know? It doesn't know. So there can only be when there are smooth transitions, then it's possible, of course. Can now try, but when I change some values here, then there will also be jumps, so that doesn't make any sense. So at this point, it's best practice if you just let's make this a bit bigger. If we are just going now and add an automatic skinning, and with the automatic skinning, we can then also attach the cloth more to the character. And the skinning here, well, let's see if this already works. Yeah, we should turn this off. I use the editor function and convert it right now. Yes, sometimes this is better. So it's already, now it's converted as a skin mesh renderer. And now we can have another look. Let's see how this behaves. Just we didn't use any but we can already use service push, I think. Let's try this. And yeah, the service push will try and get it back to where it was before, but there's still some parts where it shouldn't be, and yeah, but this is already much better now with the service push on. And can also now reset the animation, and yeah, there's some areas we should fix, but all in all I'm already quite happy with the result. We completely created this cloth in Unity, and there was no external program involved, and yeah, as I said, there are some things we could do now to improve the quality, of course, of the cloth. Yeah, one thing would be painting now the painting the where's the vertex painter? I think it's not activate. It's here. We have to re-import this. Okay. Now it works. Okay. Yeah, as you can see here, there's still these green vertex colors from the stitching of the garment, but we don't care because we are using the red channel anyway. And now we want to tell the system where it should use the skinning. If the skinning is good anyway, that's the other thing. Maybe the skinning is really bad in this area, and this is why we got these problems. But yeah, for now it's just assumed the skinning is fine, so we can paint these areas. So these areas, the white areas, are actually red areas. Are can also blur them. These areas will be more static and the others more dynamic, and we can adjust the values here. Oh, I think I forgot to save this. Just go with this. Let's just try this. And same here again. It's jumping like crazy. Don't know why. Okay. Now we can here blend between the. This is now fully skinned cloth, so we can see the skinned cloth actually makes the problem here. It's not the cloth simulations, but the skin system is trying to blend to these areas. So we now, if we try to use the skinning in these areas, it will always be wrong or bad. So the best solution would be to not use automatic skinning at all. And yeah, I would just convert it back to a mesh and remove this one, and yeah, then I would just recommend to use the character and open this character in Blender, and yeah, then just create an automatic skinning in Blender. If you don't know how, there are a lot of tutorials out there. It's quite easy and you get better results. I mean, the automatic skinning is, as you can see, it's okay, but it's maybe in some cases it will work, but normally you will always get some areas where you're not happy with the skinning, and it makes more problems with it. So in this case I would just recommend here to to go without it, or you create a better skinning.